Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. In this week's episode, I'm making lentil balls inspired by the famous vegan chef Doug McNish. Of course, I put my own spin on things here. This is a super easy recipe to make and it's super versatile as well. It can be enjoyed in a number of different styles of dishes. Of course, in this one, we're just going to keep it simple and pair it with spaghetti. These lentil bowls will be sure to give you the energy that you've been looking for. I'm very excited to get started. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! First of all, we're getting a half a cup of orange lentils and a half a cup of green lentils. Make sure to rinse them thoroughly. A few good rinses should do it. Once the water is cleared up, drain them. And I'm dicing 1/2 of a yellow onion. Bring a pot of water to a boil, add some salt, and add in the lentils. You may like to skim off the foam. After they're cooked, simply drain them. I'm microplaning 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds and a 1/4 cup of walnuts, both of which are raw. And I'm using 1 teaspoon of white miso paste. And I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of vital wheat gluten flour. Here I have a sprig of parsley. I'm going to finely chop it. And here I have a tablespoon of fresh oregano. I'm going to chop it up finely. I'm pouring in the lentils into our food processor. And we'll add our sunflower seeds and walnuts. Add in some salt to taste. Adding in our garlic paste, adding in our oregano and our parsley, and the teaspoon of miso paste. I'm just going to spread it out. And I'm adding 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast and adding in our 2 tablespoons of vital wheat gluten flour. And we'll blend it all up. Now I'm transferring our lentil mixture into this bowl. I'm going to knead it for a few minutes. And we'll come back to it. Here I have a hot pot with some oil and I'm adding our diced onions. We'll want to soften them up. And I'm going to crush 2 garlic cloves. Add the crushed garlic cloves into the pot along with a sprig of thyme, about a teaspoon's worth of fresh rosemary. Cook it up and allow it to get fragrant. We'll want to soften the garlic a little bit before we add the wine. We have 1 cup of our Las Mulas. This wine is a Cabernet Sauvignon. You can see the garlic has softened up. We'll pour our cup of wine into the pot and it will deglaze it. And we're going to turn up the heat, bring it to a boil, and we'll reduce this wine for a beautiful flavor. Now you can see our liquid has reduced quite a bit. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons worth of our reduced wine mixture into our lentil mixture. And we'll just blend it all up in our food processor. And I'm adding 2 additional tablespoons of Vital Wheat Gluten Flour. Feel free to adjust it as necessary. You do not want this dough to be sticky. Feel free to add some extra salt to adjust the seasoning. We're going to knead our mixture for 5 minutes or so and then let it rest. Did you know that it takes 20 times more land to raise cows for slaughter and therefore results in 20 times more greenhouse gas emissions? Animal agriculture is a leading cause of deforestation and biodiversity loss. It takes 100 times the land to produce 1 kilocalorie of beef or lamb than it does plant-based protein. Also, if the world switched over to a plant-based diet, the entire world would be fed. There would be enough food for everyone. Not to mention, it would free up billions of hectares of land. We'd see a great comeback of forests and ecosystems. Animal source protein is much less sustainable in that they require more food and nutrition than what they actually provide. Green lentils and orange lentils or red lentils provide 18 grams of protein approximately per cup. They're a good source of iron, fiber, and you're getting the protein without the saturated fat. Also, it's pretty budget friendly. 1 package of dried lentils can go quite a long way. I'm chopping up some garlic just for our sauce component. And I have a handful of fresh basil I'm slicing up, and this will be for the finishing touch. Doug McNish's recipe calls for the vegan meatballs to be the size of an ice cream scoop. I found these to be quite large, so I'm dividing them into 2. I think this will be the perfect size personally. I'm going to cook these lentil bowls using 2 different methods. The first method, I'm simply frying up these lentil balls in some hot oil on a pan, turning them as we go, of course. The second method, I'm brushing them with oil, putting them on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and popping them in the oven at 425. Turning them partway through to make sure they're brown all around. And we're pairing these lentil bowls with spaghetti. So cook it up as usual. Here we have a Dutch oven with oil, and we're adding a 1/4 cup's worth of red onion. I have 2 red chilies I sliced down the middle, but I'm keeping them intact. I'm popping them in our hot oil. Let all the beautiful spice infuse. We're adding our lentil balls in the mix because we want optimal flavor infusion. And we're adding our Italian tomato sauce. Mixing them in this manner ensures optimal flavor infusion. I removed the herb stems and garlic chunks, and we're mixing our wine reduction into our beautiful sauce. Now we're adding our nearly cooked spaghetti into our sauce for the remainder of its cook time. 1 or 2 minutes is ideal. You want the spaghetti to be al dente. Now it's plating time. Now we're topping off our spaghetti with our lentil balls. I'm adding our fresh basil for garnish and our vegan parmesan. For spice fiends like me, you may want to add extra chilies. It's that time again, everyone. We get to try our delicious vegan meatballs, lentil balls, whatever you want to call them. Simply delicious. That wine infused in there, the garlic. It has a very comforting sensation. And of course, I got my vino over here. The same one I use to prepare the sauce. Try to be a little bit more neat, like the neat balls. Here we go. Now that's the proper way. Sweet. So there you have it, everyone, a simple, delicious, and fun recipe to add to your recipe booklets. And remember, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. There's going to be a new video popping up every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, so you don't want to miss it. This is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit.